Ready on the left, ready on our right, ready on the fire. Thanks. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Muhlenberg Township Board of Commissioners to order. Will you please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We know it's chilly, but there is a full agenda tonight. For the record, we did have an executive session by the board immediately before this meeting to discuss personnel matters. And also for the record, Commissioner Malinowski is absent due to a family obligation. We have no public presentation at this time. However, we do have a presentation. If I could have Commissioner Wolfinger and Jim join me up front here, please. I made a public announcement like this. As you all know, Commissioner Malinowski did, or Malinowski, yes, probably because he says it so many times. Commissioner Wolfinger did not seek re-election to the Board of Commissioners, and tonight is his last meeting, and we would like to present to him a Community Service Award in grateful recognition of his 12 years of dedicated service as a commissioner, for his leadership commitment and integrity, that he has left a lasting impact on our community and the township. You have faithfully served. Steve, I congratulate you. Are you
We also have a plaque for outgoing board members. We have a plaque made and it will get mounted to the park bench that is at Jim Dietrich Park at the flagpole.
Thank you very much.
Personal note, I have known Steve most of my life. He is a man of integrity and of great commitment to public service. And I can remember some years ago kind of twisting his arm to fulfill a term of a vacated commissioner seat. And he came kicking and screaming all the way. No, he didn't. He was very willing to put in his application to be reviewed, and I'm glad that he was chosen. And I'm deeply glad that he chose to run for full terms and remain on the board as long as he had. I don't think the general public has a full appreciation of the amount of time that Steve has spent on your behalf. You know, attending meetings and just going out to Jim Dietrich Park and taking care of the farmhouse and the flower beds and just being there. The work that he's done with the library. He's been a great advocate for our community, and I'm going to miss him an awful lot. So.
And I thank you for twisting my arm.
Easiest thing I did.
Being a commissioner, and I want to thank the voters who chose me for electing me, because they really gave me a beautiful job. I retired and came right into the job as commissioner. I worked for the county for 34 years, and in all honesty, I knew county government. I did not know township government. And I would like to point out to these people over here, our department heads, you know, I came in here and your doors were wide open, and I went in and you helped me out through this whole thing, and I appreciate that very much. So I'm leaving. There's going to be another commissioner, Mike Merkel, coming in. He's going to fit in very well. Treat him like you treated me, and he'll be very fine. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. Oh. All right, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, God. Look at this, yeah, finish up. All right, we'll finish this, then we'll move back to, thank you, I had already checked that off. This is why I don't do this often. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Chief, I did notice, one of the things we've talked about a lot in the last couple of months is, traffic violations and traffic enforcement. I can see that all our platoons have been extremely busy in that regard. So to the public, I'd just like to say that, I know a lot of you have come forward the last couple of months talking about concerns with traffic violations, but, our officers are doing their utmost best to stay on top of that, running patrols in certain moving areas within the township. So Chief, thank you, and thank the officers for that ongoing, attending to that issue. All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. And, my apologies to the public, do have Linda, first on the list.
Yeah. I just wanted to thank all the commissioners for their support over all these years. This year, well, coming in January, I will be the treasurer and Karen Schreiber is gonna step up as president of our board of trustees. I've been president now, I think it's 8 years. It's time, just like you, time to step back and let somebody else come in. But I just, again, would like to thank you for everything you've done for the library over the years and continuing to keep us in your budget and everything else. And Steve, it has been a pleasure working with you at least my 12, 13 years. You've helped at the library and I hope you'll continue with that.
And you've done the same, you've been there every time I go.
Yeah.
Linda's there, and we should keep the library going, and we didn't have library.
It's going good. It really is. So thank you all.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for your ongoing leadership. Next we have Matt Sinelli.
Good evening, everyone, staff and commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to speak here. Congratulations, Commissioner Wolfinger, on your term of service. First of all, I want to say, I certainly am not opposed to development along the Fifth Street Highway corridor. And I'm here to speak about what could be unintended consequences. An example is when I travel here, I'm going to travel on Noble Street, or sometimes to get to the Warren Street bypass, I'll travel on Montrose Street in Laureldale instead of taking the Fifth Street Highway. It seems to be a very large amount of traffic. And as I try to pull out of my driveway on Darby Avenue, sometimes I see cars. I know that PennDOT has measured the volume of traffic before and after the Diamond Credit Union was built. I spoke to the gentleman who measured it. Sometimes I have guests and they're traveling at a very high rate of speed. I know that you've measured this before. I would not want you to devote resources to enforcing the speed limit. But what I have found as I'm traveling out of South Temple, there are other vehicles who are not going to South Temple. They're not visiting anyone. They are just passing through. I'll assume that they don't want to travel on the Fifth Street Highway either. So this is just something for thought. I don't know what remedies or resolution could be brought to that. I see that you have speed monitors on River Road. And honestly, I've thought about, they're a couple $100. I thought about buying one myself, but I don't have a budget for it right now. I don't know what the overall trends are, but there are new families moving in with children. And as people travel through that side of South Temple, this is just a concern of mine. An example of the unintended consequences is, I think a Wawa is a great idea. I'm disappointed I can't get there. I can't drive, I can't walk. So no problem. I'm a loyal customer of Wawa. Many friends work for Wawa. I just think, I'd like to ask you to consider what would what would the consequences be? We have lots of development, we have lots of tax base that's coming in. Please think about what that would be like if you did that on Stouts Ferry Bridge Road. I don't know how many of you live on the east side of the township, but, right now, it's the low cost of living that keeps me here. I'd like to see young families moving in with children, but I'm not sure if we're going in the right direction. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Senoy. Jim, I know a couple of years ago, in this, we did have a meeting and a presentation done about traffic calming measures on Fifth Street. And I know we've had some grants, we've done some things to have the crosswalks and things installed. At one time, there was discussion about planters or something, down the center of Fifth Street and limiting, left turns off of Elizabeth Avenue onto Fifth Street. So I don't know that those plans went anywhere because of, PennDOT oversight. But I know we did have some discussions. We can certainly continue to look at those things in the future.
And when it comes to new land development projects, we do encourage the developers to have interconnectivity within their plazas to neighboring plazas. Unfortunately, in some cases, there are competing businesses in abutting plazas, and so the landlords aren't typically nearly so willing to work with one another to be able to allow that interconnectivity. And in some cases, it's because of leases that may exist, that a landlord cannot provide access to some other competing business.
May I ask the question?
Sure.
There's only one way into the Giant. Is there going to be an alternate egress?
There's two ways into the Giant Plaza.
Well,
Right.
from Target or
Right.
in front of the Giant, and honestly, I would rather drive 45 miles than go to the Giant because there's that only one. In any case, so there's not gonna be an access from the Wawa.
Not in this particular case, no.
No.
There are grade differentials that were an obstruction as well as competing gasoline providers. The Giant has their lease would not allow Paramount Pad Services to partner with NDA Muhlenberg to have any interconnectivity through there. We pushed actually pretty hard.
Yeah, that question did come up. There was discussion at the planning commission meeting because they brought that up also. It was something that they were looking at, but it's not something that we could unfortunately require.
Chief, did you hear about the bill might try to build in Harrisburg, like, all the municipalities might have cameras, in Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia, traffic cameras. Did you hear that?
Not.
I heard a bill might come out, when they're going to cities now, I get a lot of, I heard only municipalities or cities that have cameras. They're gonna try to bring it,
Yeah, stationary traffic control, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. And I heard they're gonna try to bring a bill, and other people are allowed to get it.
Kind of like our radar for the last 4 years.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Matt. Does anyone else wish to speak under the first public portion? And you can move on. Is there any unfinished business? We know unfinished business, we'll move on to new business. I need a motion to adopt resolution 2025-08, setting the 2026 tax rate.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion?
No change in the tax rate.
All right. So to remind the public, our millage is at 6/10. Which basically means that you are paying 60 cents on every $100 assessed, or $600 on every $100,000 of property value. And of that 6/10, 4.8 is going into our general fund, 0.9 is going to our fire service, 0.3 is going to our ambulance service. For $600 on $100,000 value property, you are getting an awful lot of services. I'd like to thank our department heads, for operating as lean as they do and as smartly as they do, to be able to provide all the goods and services that we do. And that runs everything from police protection to parks to snow removal and leaf pickup, and every little thing in between. We have a wonderful community, and I think we do an awful lot, with the tax rate that we have. When I stopped to think that why missing was entertaining a 22% rate increase, that just boggles my mind. Anyway, we have a motion in a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
Commissioner Lynch.
Yes, sir.
Item A.
I'm sorry. Keep me in line. You know, you get to practice these things. It's not wonderful. Item B. Motion, I need a motion to adopt the 2026 budget as presented.
Make a motion.
Sorry, am I missing?
Motion to approve payment of bills. You have a, I'm not sure, but once again, the software may have.
Maybe this one.
Keep that.
Right, it was. Okay, I'm working off of an older printout, so obviously there were some changes. My apologies to the public and to the staff, to my fellow commissioners. So that was item B that we just approved. Okay, moving back under new business, item A. I need a motion to approve the payment of bills presented by the Director of Finance and Customer Service.
Motion.
Sorry,
Any comments or discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Now we're on to item C. Motion to adopt the 2026 budget as presented.
so moved.
Second.
Any comments or discussion? I'd like to note to the public, the budget as presented was a hair over $20 million for 2026. You know, I've said this before, we have a budget, we operate a lot like a small city. It's a big budget, a lot in it. I don't know if anybody else has any comments at this point. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I think we are back on track now. Item D, I need a motion to authorize the solicitor to advertise the 2026 meeting dates and times.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or discussion?
Are they the same as 2025?
They are, aside from reorganization meeting will be January 5th, at 6 P.M. And there will be no regular January meeting otherwise. Also impactful, however, it wasn't saying this year, the February meeting is on a Tuesday. There's conflict with President's Day.
Gotcha, thank you.
Yeah. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Item E, I need a motion to appoint H.A. Berkheimer as the 2026 amusement tax collector.
Motion.
Second.
Any comments or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to appoint the Berks County Tax Claim Bureau as the delinquent real estate tax collector for 2026.
Second.
Any comments or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to adopt resolution 2025-09, setting the 2026 compensation rate schedule.
Motion.
Second. Any comments or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to adopt resolution 2025-10, adopting the 2026 omnibus fee schedule.
Make a motion. Second.
Comments or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve the 2026 traffic signal maintenance contract with CMI.
Make a motion. Second.
Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to authorize the township manager to execute the animal control services contract with Safety Net Sanctuary in the amount of $32,872.50.
Moved.
Second.
Comments or discussion?
I think, it looks like a lot of money. It's actually cheaper than other services we get, and they do a good service for us.
I know we've talked about this in the past, this does come up periodically, and Commissioner Muhlenberg's point, I agree. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to authorize the township manager to execute the trap neuter release agreement with No Nonsense Neutering for feral cat management in 2026.
Moved.
Second.
Discussion or comments?
I'll say the same thing as I said before. That's $40 a cat, and it's cheaper, and we're not gonna be using it that much, I'm sure. Cat populations are going down in a lot of areas because of the deodorant.
And for public note, this is for feral cat only. This is not, for pets.
Only in the over.
Only in the over, yes. Alright. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. We will be skipping item L as we had no qualified candidates. Sorry, chief.
Possibly one next month.
I'll see you next month. I will keep my fingers crossed. Item N, I need a motion to authorize the assistant township manager to execute an agreement with Scantech in Info Management Solutions. Yes. I got it, to digitize, once in a while, I get it, to digitize archive plans and files associated with coast review in the amount of $102,533.25.
Motion. Second.
Comments or discussion,
If I may.
please.
I've got this plan set down. This is, Steve, do you remember which one specifically this
This
is?
is the middle school.
This is the new school, but it's specifically mechanical, electrical, or plumbing.
Correct.
This is one set of plans. This is one of four that he has received for review from a codes compliance perspective. We have to keep these plans for as long as that building exists. We have a room upstairs that is filled with nothing but these plans. This proposal will take all of these plans, scan them all, digitize them, categorize them so that we can research them and have them available to us at any point in time. This, for reference, weighs about 35 or 40 pounds.
And that is one of four.
That is one of four for this portion of the project. That is correct.
Or 10 towns came for the school district for the plans.
And for the commissioners, information, this will digitize everything up to this point, which we have never done. It also assists with our right to know classes, which there are lots. It's every month, so, and it just modernizes his department and the ability for all departments to pull these plans up at will.
I think it's great. What are the plans associated, what are the costs associated moving forward or something?
So management after that, if we've got 40 to 50 years worth of plans. Now, we recognize that we can pick through, when a building doesn't exist, portions of the Fairground Square Mall, for example, those won't get scanned in. The Bellevue Diner that was if we even have those plans anymore, will not get scanned in. So it'll be management after that. And we don't really know, it'll depend on how heavy of a development we see. If we can go 2 years, 3 years without, then so be it. We can go 2 or 3 years without having to update any of the current files. If we have a really heavy year and we see lots of new development or construction or renovation, we can make that call at the time.
We'll never see a price tag like this.
No,
Right, this is startup, this
This
is
is
getting us caught up to date.
Everything we have.
50 years for it.
Right.
Yeah, 50 years for the plan, so we will come up with a proposed schedule after the next 2 years, I'd say, or even after the first year, it might be once every 5. Awesome. But
Thank you.
Mr. Gunkel, I was amazed that you knew what that was just by looking at the size of the bundle.
Quite a bit more up there.
All right, thank you, everyone. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve payment application number 2 to Empire Services for work completed on the Laurel Run Creek riparian forest buffer and stream bank restoration project in the amount of $167,693.07.
Motion. Second.
Discussion or comments? Mr. Bovek, I will inform you that I have received a number of comments from the general public who lives in that area. They're very happy to see this work taking place. They're very pleased with the work done in the creek, and I think it will look very nice long after I am gone and the trees have grown.
This is, the excavation portion of the project is complete. The majority of the landscaping is complete. There is still some live stake plantings that need to be installed. And it was our understanding that that was to happen in December now, whether the snow is gonna push them off or not. The plant material going in now will be dormant, so I don't know that they're too terribly concerned in weather conditions.
And may I say that we learned a lot. This is an investment. I think we can work further in the creek at a lot cheaper and do a lot of the work ourselves. Before, the state wouldn't let us touch anything what we did before. We found a way to do it legally. So now we can actually get in the creek and do more work. And this was an investment, I think, and I think it will deter some flooding in the future.
We have a motion and a carry. Is there any other further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve payment application number 5, final to Empire Services for work completed on the Laurel Run Park project in the amount of $8,021.60.
Take a motion.
Comments?
This is just finishing up the pickleball courts in Laurel Run Park. This is aside from withholding the maintenance bond. This is the last pay application for that fund. Close out and look for our reimbursement from the state.
The pickleball court has been very busy. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve a $3,000 sponsorship to the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance.
Move.
Second. Comments or discussion? I know we've talked about the GRCA, at prior meetings, $3,000 may seem like a lot to sponsor the group, however, they do drive some crucial economic development, in the greater Reading area. It does give us the opportunity to partner and network with business owners and other municipal leaders. We've seen Selnick, met with Jim and I some months ago, to sit down and review available properties in Muhlenberg, that would be ripe for development. And they take that back, to the various boards and meetings that they have. So, they certainly do a lot for us behind the scenes. And I'm happy to see a sponsorship for them going forward. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it and motion carries. Is there any other new business? I do want to bring up, I know this question has come up to me personally. I don't know if other commissioners have had these conversations. Frontier Communications is busy in our northwestern areas laying new fiber, internet fiber. As such, they have been pulling conduit. They have not created the same mess that we saw when Fastbridge came in to a point. Though we had a couple of issues. But Jim, I did notice, for instance, on my property, even though 811 had been called and we've had utilities marked, gas lines are not marked on my property. But I'm pretty certain they're gonna start digging there in the next week. Can we get back to the contractor to make sure, before they dig any, I know they need to open above gas lines.
Correct.
And I noticed my sewer line was not marked.
They're about to get a one call.
They marked water and somehow they just missed it's just my property, they just wanna blow up my house. I don't know, probably because I give them a hard time. But, for public knowledge, Jim and I did meet with the contractor who is doing the laying of the conduit, to discuss some of the public concerns and issues that we ran into when Fastbridge came in. I did not notice the same level of issues that we had the last time. They do seem to have a smoother operation to get conduit in the ground than full, so, at least, that's a little bit better.
When are they starting to work?
They've already started.
On your property? I mean,
They are right across the street from me. They're in the neighbor's property, but they've been in the neighborhood. And they've already completed, River Bend. River Bend, I think they're finished in that area. They're in the River Hill area. They have a goal to have the conduit installed by the end of the year. Yeah.
what's the window, Jeremy, on PA one? It's 3 days, right?
So. Alright, just for public knowledge. Moving on to board appointments, I need a motion to appoint members to various boards and commissions for the 2026 appointment summary. Oh, sure, what's that? Probably
I don't know it off the top of my head.
have it.
The list?
Yeah.
You want me to read it?
Yeah,
You wanna read it?
you have it handy until I get back into this.
Okay, civil service boards, am I supposed to read all of them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, civil service board, 6-year term, Jerry Arndt. Zoning hearing board, 3-year term, Robin Royer. Parks board, 5-year term, Danny Russo. Planning commission, 4-year term, Walt Lasota, Bob Endler, Eva Eisenbrown. And fire board, Randy Gilbert and Marty Greb. I'll second.
Any comments or discussion?
Over the past 2 years, I've had the pleasure of working with Randy and Marty, and Rick has had that pleasure. For any of these terms. Thank you to these people for volunteering and spending their time. Marty and Randy have done a great job on our board. Always showing up, so thank you guys.
Any other comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. We now reach our second public portion. Does anybody wish to speak?
I apologize for maybe some lack of clarity last time. That my concern is not traffic on the Fifth Street Highway. I think that's done. I don't know that anything can be done. My concern is traffic from the Fifth Street Highway flowing through the neighborhoods on the east side of the township. That has increased, and that's what my concern is. Fifth Street Highway, I'm not sure what to say about that, but.
No, I understand, Matt. I think, you know, if we can have traffic flowing smoothly on Fifth Street, we would have a lot fewer people cutting across, trying to find alternate routes. But correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, if I remember correctly, with the building of the new Wawa on Fifth, we are to be getting a left turning signal to go west onto Water Street. And that should help alleviate a lot of the backup right there in front of the giant plaza. Because I know it's difficult to queue to make that left turn and people are cutting all over the place. So I think once we get that and traffic is moving a little smoother northbound on Fifth, it'll help to alleviate some of that.
How often do they do studies to time the lights? Because there are times, I live in Temple, and I'll be honest, I cut through North Temple Boulevard to get up to Eighth Ave to get to my house. Because Fifth Street will be so backed up from Pizza Como to the light at Giant that you might have a green light and you can't get through the intersection.
So we can, and that was the proposal that the board approved tonight for CM High for traffic signal maintenance for next year. We can do that based on the approved plan at any point in time. If we want to change the plan, however, we have to go back to PennDOT with the traffic studies and with all the data and work through PennDOT's process from a traffic signal change perspective. And ultimately, you're changing the signal pattern for the entire intersection. So if the systems are operating the way they were approved, the way they were intended to be approved, then we can check that at any point in time. If changes are required, that's a very different process. Okay.
We're gonna do that traffic study, not more.
Hey, we're gonna do that next year. Yeah, we'll get a proposal from an engineer.
Right.
And we'll vote on that early next year. Yeah.
We have to wait for schools, didn't they say?
Correct. To do the study. Correct.
Right.
Yep, correct.
All right. Anyone else wish to speak? If not, we have our closing comments. Mr. Dunkel.
Yeah, just remember to take care of those sidewalks in this weather, these couple snow events. We issued about 25 warnings for sidewalks not being cleared. So we do a little better job of keeping those sidewalks clear for us, and everybody, Merry Christmas.
Joe.
Township magazine was mailed out, so if you did not receive it, contact us, we can mail you one, you can stop in here, we always have some extra. Also stay tuned to our website for changes in, office hours through the holidays. Thank you, Wolf, for your years of service and working with us, and it was really good. Had a good time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and, no snow.
Jeremy.
I'd just like to publicly thank my crew, because I think they overachieved on this last one. You know, they never hear how good they are, they only hear how bad they are, because you're only as good as your last snowstorm, so. You know, if you see them out, tell them how good they are every once in a while, it'll make them feel good. Also, if Wolfie comes to me, I can use a grass cutter. It's been great working with you. We had a lot of fun in these 12 years. So I'm really. That's it.
Dawn.
Just want to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday, and then I'm really gonna miss Steve and our talks, so. He was one of the commissioners that probably was in my office more than any of them, so, I appreciate it, and, I always like our conversations, I'm gonna miss him, but my door's always open.
I apologize for getting into the weeds too much.
Yeah.
You know, I had to laugh the other day. I called Jeremy up and I said, listen, guys, we're gonna lose on Saturday. And the next Saturday, Nick comes by, he's looking at my house and he's waving. But I apologize, for that, but you guys have been great with me, I really appreciate it.
Anything from our friends at the ambulance association?
Happy holidays, stay safe.
Thank you. Chief? Over.
I wanted to also extend my thanks and gratitude to Commissioner Wolford. Although he wasn't our police liaison, but I was the chief. You were very supportive and I always appreciate that very much, so thank you. The other thing I would ask and remind people is, I never lived in a community. I'm a country boy, but one thing that has come up a lot, especially this last snowstorm, is the amount of people throwing snow out into the street, from the sidewalks and everything else, and not just at the curb, like out into the street. And also, if private contractors are listening, they are not allowed to push snow from a parking lot out into the highway or the street. Merry Christmas to everybody, Happy New Year, and
Couple comments here, as we kind of wrap up the year. I think you would all agree, we've had a much busier year, in the fire department than last year. Year to date comparison, 2024 to 2025, from January to November. Last year, we were at 1,237 calls. This year, we're at 1,807 in the same time period. We've actually seen a 21.5% increase in call volume in Muhlenberg Township for various reasons. So overall, we've been a lot busier this year in Muhlenberg as well as other communities, obviously with our agreement with Burn Township. That is some of the increase. It's not just there, it's also in Muhlenberg, we're seeing an increase. Last month, we had 227 calls for service in November. Also a reminder, our Santa meet and greet is this Saturday, December 20th at our Temple Station on Kutztown Road from 1 to 3 p.m. Santa arrives sharply at 1:15 p.m. by fire truck. So also, I'd like to thank Commissioner Wolfinger for your support for myself and the fire department over my tenure for the last 3 years. Congratulations on your retirement.
Jim?
We have a planning commission meeting on Wednesday, 7 p.m. We'll be reviewing the 1002 Patriot Parkway Land Development Plan. We also have a sewage planning module up for approval for 2139 North 13th Street. Also, we'll do our best to keep the public informed. But when the Bellevue Avenue Bridge is going to get, when the Bellevue Avenue Bridge gets replaced in 2026, the traffic's gonna get worse on Fifth Street. It is getting widened, yes, it is. It is getting widened, and they're taking some of the, slope, the approach. They're reducing the approach angle as well. So there are improvements, but it is going to be, impactful while that's going on. So, that's all I have.
Commissioner Benson. Yes, I just want to thank Steve for a great job in getting on board when me, Dylan came on, your farm was open first, was a down for all dozen. Remember how much you did for the community back in MTA days and that there all the time to help people out. I appreciate everything you did for the township.
Thank you, Rick.
And another thing too, in the fire department, it's so great doing on board with Dylan that we get a lot done in the fire board, you good leadership in that.
Thank Christian support.
Everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Well, thank you for the snow, guys, did a good job.
We're gonna cover that as Commissioner Cerulli.
Yeah, I want to second what Jeremy said. I went out to shovel yesterday morning at 7 a.m. and the streets were black. And, yeah, I know other municipalities were out pretty late yesterday doing some stuff. Our guys were on top of it. You guys did a great job. Commissioner Wolfinger, congratulations. Said this before, you were the first commissioner to introduce yourself to me. I was doing a landscaping job here, actually, outside. And you drove by in your Miata with the top down. And you were staring at me. I was young, I'm 25, and I was kind of aggressive. I'm like, what's this guy looking at? And then he walked over and he was like, you must be the new guy. I'm Commissioner Wolfner. So, thank you for all you've done for this township. Fun retirement.
Thank you.
Steve, parting thoughts?
Well, just for business here, Kelly and Heather have been busy, and they're looking at 2026. But they still have some things going on, the fire meet stand on December 20, January 20, they have Pilates. And January 24th, there's evidently a camp making group getting together at the rec center or the farmhouse. But they're working on the Spring Fiesta, the River Fest now, so it's gonna be a good 2026. Let me just say that for the residents who might be listening here and you people here, I've in the last 12 years worked with 9 commissioners, and everyone was an honest person. They were here for the looking for what's best for the township. They were different personalities, maybe didn't agree with each other, but they always voted for the best of the township. And I feel very positive when I say to the residents, these people are backing you up here. You're in good hands with all these people, the supervisors, the staff, and the board of commissioners. And this board's very good. Mike Malinowski, I guess he's hopefully looking, 24 years of service. I'm given to the township, and I thank Ann for letting him spend time away from the family like that. Kevin, your 4th term, you're into right now. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Dylan, you were one of my favorite employees when you were in the Parks Department. I hated to see you go, but it's nice to have young blood on the board. Rick, you're not young blood. But now, you go back, MTAA, the authority, the school district, now township. I mean, you've given a lot to Muhlenberg, and I appreciate that, and I thank you. So the residents, you're in good shape. I think Muhlenberg, I saw change in the last 10 years that we're just very, very positive. The board has always been transparent. We have the owl. You don't have to come to the meetings anymore to see what's going on. Gotta mention the chief, the police department under your guidance, I think it is better off mentally and physically. Guys seem happier down there and doing a great job. Alex, as fire chief, I got a smile every time I see on my phone at 2 in the morning, Chief 66 at the scene. And you must have a very understanding wife. Thank you very much. Jim Bobick, I was a commissioner with 4 managers. Not to take anything away from Brian Harris, who I like very much, but Jim, you're on the top. You do a very, very thorough job. I appreciate it. Thank you. I look at you guys all as friends, and for the people in the audience, I'm not going to be sitting up here next month, but I look forward to sitting with you out in the audience. Merry Christmas.
Very good, thanks.
So this time of year, it's very reflective for, I think, most of us, where we sit back and we look at our accomplishments for the last 12 months, and we look forward to the new year and our goals. The commissioners in this township all work very hard, but we are only as good as the staff that we have behind us, and we have a hell of a staff here in Muhlenberg. So on behalf of the board, thank you for all that you've done this year, and looking forward to, the next year. The board will have a new commissioner. Steve, I will miss you very much, but I look forward to working, with Mike Merkel, and, I know he will represent the board very well. So with that, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and, safe holidays to all. And if there is no other business, we are adjourned.